My name is Stephen USSR Robinson, and thank you for watching Sporting Icons.
Alright, Mark, Steve, thanks very much for letting me into your gym. Although we're in the your cupboard. Is it a cupboard or an office? What is this?
It's a cupboard.
Well, it was a treatment room, it's just there. Got all the boxing kit in at the minute, keeping it lock and key.
That's nice, just snug, isn't it? So you've got a fight coming up in, what 3 days now?
3 days. Yeah.
3 days, this will be your third professional fight.
Yeah.
And your opponent, Phil Williams?
Yeah.
You have any predictions for this fight? What you're planning? A few rounds or a knockout?
To be honest, I'm not going by the knockout. I'm not going, I'm not there to put on a show for the fans. I'm there to do what I do best, and if the knockout comes, the knockout comes. We've been working on certain shots after finding out we've got Phil Williams and watching him on YouTube, watching what type of boxer he is, seeing him against Simon Vallely in the last show at the MTK Christmas party. We know what to expect, and me, Mark and Joe have been working on a selection of shots that we think can stop Phil Williams. And listen, I'm not boasting, I'm not being big-headed, I'm not arrogant, but I know very well if I hit you, you're going down, which I've proved in my last 2 fights, stopping them in under 2 minutes. So if the knockout comes, great. Don't get us wrong, I don't think it's going to be a first round knockout like the last 2, but I do think if I land a shot what we've been working on, I am stopping them.
Is it ideal to get a couple of rounds, or is it just take it how it comes?
Listen, I do all my work in the gym, I do my work in sparring. If I knock someone out in the first round, so be it. If I get 4 rounds in, 6 rounds in, 8 rounds in, however many I get in, however many I'm fighting, so be it. It's irrelevant to me. I know I've done the work in ya, and that's all that matters. Whether the take is the distance, I know I'm going to have the fitness to go the distance, and that's down to Mark and Giuseppe, with all the sparring, the sort out, with all the pad work, with all the cardio, with all the strength work, everything's sorted in here. So when I get in there, it doesn't matter how many rounds I have to do, I'll do it.
So you've had a good camp then?
Yeah, really good camp. Done 22 rounds of sparring last week, in the final week, 2 8s and a 6, and the 6 was because it wasn't down to me. I would have had more, and I feel like I could have done more after the 8. But it's I'm happy with how the camp's gone. Not mentioning any names. Stopped a few sparring partners in this camp, and that's with 18-ounce gloves on. So what I can do with 10s, it's been seen in the last 2 fights, and it'll be seen in this one as well.
So Mark, how would you assess Steve's progress in his very short career so far?
Yeah, good, really good. Every sort of fight training camp that we do, we've kind of got, I've got like something that I want to work with and develop. Some things obviously in sparring, a lot of our spars will film. I've got the cameras in there anyway, so I'll watch them back, and then I'll sit and I'll work on things and which ones I'm not happy with that. It might be too close to the fight, and we'll go, I'm not going to try and develop this now or change it now, we just need to improve it a little bit. And then as soon as that fight's done, like that's literally top of the priority list to kind of get right and put to bed, and then keep working and developing and moving. But his training camp's gone really well. I mean, up to now his career, he hasn't really put a foot wrong, hasn't he? So I think Phil Williams, he's a tough cookie, isn't he? He doesn't really get stopped. So preparing, as Stevie says, repeating what he says, really, we always prepare in any camp to go the distance. If the stop out comes, fantastic, it comes. You're not going in there looking for a knockout, but he's a heavy-handed kid, so I think if he does land, he is going to hurt him. But we know about Phil Williams, we know he's a tough kid, and he's going to be in there he's coming for the distance, isn't he? So
of course, journeymen are there to survive and take you the distance, aren't they?
Well, they're there for you to learn from, but again, it's a statement though from Steve. If he goes in there and does manage to get the stoppage, then that's a bit of a statement. It's not kind of I've arrived on the scene sort of statement, but it's a statement of, listen, this guy doesn't get stopped, and he's very rarely stopped and happen. So I'm quietly confident that does happen. But we'll see.
So it's your third fight, and it'll be your second time at the Eagles Arena.
Yeah.
With these, is this your third MTK show?
Yes.
Technically it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So all going well in this one, how many more times do you plan on being out this year, or would you like him to be out?
Ideally, I want to be out as often as possible. Listen, as I say, permitting I don't get any injuries, any daft cuts, any daft hand injuries, I'm ready. I'm ready for whenever there's a show, whether it be down London, whether it be up here, whether it be in Scotland, whether it be abroad. If the money's right and Mark and Giuseppe agree to it, I'm there to take it. I'm in the gym 364 days of the year. I don't drink. I live the lifestyle. I put too much hard work into it to not be ready for a fight to come along. I'm ready whenever there's a fight there. So come April the 4th on the show at the arena, if I can get on that, great. If I can't, anything in April, as I say, I'm ready. So ideally we want to be out 6 times, though, we've said.
Yeah, 6. I think Eddie Hearn's sick of us now. He goes, I'm like, I've rang them again today, I've spoken to them. To be fair, mate, they're going through a change of on staff there, aren't they? Which I told Stevie, so I just thought, if we get on it, great. So Eddie Hearn, if you are watching, big man's going to be ready. He's fighting in a few days. If you want a big exciting super heavyweight on your show, get on the phone. I've sent you about 4 emails. I think I've sent about 4 emails. I've spoken to P a load of times. And
you got a response for his email?
Yeah, no, I've had a response to say they're looking into it, they're considering for the show. I think they're just they've got that many shows going on. They're looking at other shows prior to that one. So I think it's probably going to be next month that we'll get a definitive answer on it.
You're quite lucky. He's usually quite stubborn with the emails. He ignores them for a month, and then he responds. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot I sent that.
No, but it's to be honest with you, Karen's working on it much. She's been great. She's been financial in the phone speaking and just saying,
he just puts in the subject box nudes and then opens it straight away.
That's where I'm going wrong.
So if you just in the subject box, just like naked nudes or something, and then you'll open it straight away.
Fair enough.
Works every time.
How are your tickets gone for this one? You were given what, the 100 tickets said?
Good, really good. I've got 6 left, which are gonna go. I've had people messaging us and stuff for them, but it's we've sold 100 between me, and it's hard with tickets because you always get people seeing they want tickets and approach you in the gym and approach you on the street and say, oh, definitely when your next fight and this and that, I'll definitely get a ticket. And then when you get the tickets and you go to them and say, oh, I've got the ticket. Oh, well, it's an awkward one because, my goldfish has just died. So it's like, all right, no bother. Just for me, I say to everyone, you don't have to come. I don't expect you to come. Don't come to me and say, oh, when your next fight, I'll definitely get a ticket, and and then when I come to you, just make up a daft excuse. Just don't mention it. It's irrelevant to me whether you come supporters or you don't. I appreciate every bit of support that I get, and I've got the people who come every single from when I was an amateur, up until now, and I've got them people who have been there from day one, and I appreciate the people who are jumping on board. But as I said, if you want a ticket, great. Come, we can sort that out. But if you don't want a ticket, it's fine. Just wish us luck, great, thank you, I appreciate that. But don't tell us you're going to have a ticket and then not have a ticket, because I put them tickets to the side, and then a week before the fight I've told someone I've got no tickets, then I've approached them and they say, oh well, I can't make it, and then I'm left with 4 tickets again, which I have to then go back to the other person who's then bought it off.
I don't know, but you know my stance on that though. I've got a tool and first I'm just like, need money, need ticket, I'm not bothered what you say. And then when it comes to it, I'm like, if you say you're having it and I put your name down, regardless of if you want or not, you're taking it, simple as that, there's no refunds on it. Yeah. I've got quite a hard line, because not because it's being nasty, but it's kind of, look, we were only given 100 tickets, that's it, that's all I had. Fortunately, Baz
first come, first served.
Unfortunately, Baz got a cut in his last one, so he wasn't on. So I was able to take 20 or 30 from that, which I sold last night. And then, other people are still asking for them to do. I think I've got 1 left personally. I've personally got 1 for someone who's going to come and get it today. He's just waiting on his shift patterns from work, because he's either at work on Saturday or he's not. That's it, they're all gone. But like I say, I've got a bit of a hard line stance on them personally. I'll just be like, look, if you see it, take it, mate, and if you buy it, there's no refunds. Whereas I know a lot of boys are like, oh, he said he was having 10 and take the money, and then they would go, I know, I've done it myself, and I was fine now, but I would go, listen, you take a ticket, there's no refunds on them, and that's it. And I think you've just got to be that way. So it's not being nasty, but it's kind of, if you said you'd done that, I mean, you go to arena show, go to the Lewis Richard show, go and buy a ticket from the arena and then turn around to his phone, well, listen mate, I've, you know, your dog's died, I can't come over, I'm going on the session with me mate. That's a type of excuse what you get.
When trade comes in and that.
But that's it though, but then people are going to do that. Do you think the arena's just going to start refunding tickets? Of course they're not. So I've got the same sort of attitude towards it and viewing it. You bought a ticket tough. If you can't make it, I appreciate you buying it, but then go and sell it to someone else. It's not my problem, because otherwise about 50 people can make it now because we've got this, and then he's giving them all back and then he's off the show.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the way it works, man.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, like at this time of year, there are a lot of goldfishes dying.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
you know, I do understand.
Frozen pools.
Yeah, it's a bit of an epidemic at the minute.
Yeah. Just for me, I think a ping pong ball in the pool stops it freezing, you know. So it's a tip that I learned off moneysupermarket.com. Just how you feel ping pong balls in your outside pools, and you can come on Saturday.
Exactly.
Save the goldfish, save the koi carp.
You know what though? It's like whole joking aside though. If he does what he's supposed to do and he keeps winning the way he is, it's only going to be a matter of time before he's on sort of mainstream, whether it's Sky Sports, Box Nation, or another big show like that. And as long as he's winning, you can kind of see it going down a little bit. Maybe like a Dave Allen where he become a household name. You know, all those that want tickets in, it's going to be kind of, listen, we can't get enough for those that want them.
But to be fair though, with only like your third fight coming up, that's a hell of a lot of tickets to be selling. That's unusual.
And I think if you're quite, I don't know, I've tended to see that a lot of boys that make their debut, if they're kind of popular, they seem to sell loads, and it just drops after that second, third, fourth fight. But he's got quite a following, and he's building up nice momentum with it. It might just be time of year as well for people to Christmas just being there, and they're recouping finances from the January and February period, which is understandable. But I'd like to see it's on the next one. If he gets on the arena, I'd like to see we'll try and do 200 or 300 tickets to that, to be honest with you. And I think that's a realistic target. But again, if he gets on there, we need the tickets in, because that's going to sell like that night. Whether he's on or not, that's going to sell out, to be fair.
I think they sold 6,500 already.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
Yeah.
Was it 10,500, 12,000 in the arena?
But I don't know what it's like with the arena, because they close the top end off, don't
Yeah.
they? So I don't know.
But the MTK show this Friday, Saturday. It's a pretty good show though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty sold out.
Sold out from what I've heard. So 3,500 tickets.
We've been called it non-stop. Gary Forrest from MTK has been on the phone non-stop. He's like, have you got any spare tickets? Because Troy Williams, he said, needed a load more. I think it was Joe, someone needed a load more than someone else. I was like, mate, I kind of probably am going to sell what I've got left. So I gave them pretty much every one of Bazzi's back. I took another 20 odd out. And that was just for me, for last night, for Stevie to run around selling them. So yeah, I mean, if there's 3,500 there, but I mean, there's no reason no one's going to lie and say, oh, we've sold 3,500, and then 2,000 people turn up. It sold pretty well the last time, so I think, you know, they're building a really, really good base up here, aren't they, in what they're doing. And that Eagles arena is a cracking little arena for you.
Nice.
Oh, it's mint.
Yeah, really good. They set it up well as well. So.
And they've got a good card on them. They've got some good local talent, exciting fighters on there. And it's good to see the local lads be able to pull in the fact that MTK are doing it and be able to sell the show as well, 3,500, without having like any Sky TV there or major sort of thing on it.
It's good for the North East, it's starting to rise again.
No, it definitely is. That's good, because the more shows that do this, the more likely they're going to come back, so you guys get more and more fights.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
if I get him out 6 times this year, I'll be more than happy with all the 6 fights this year. Take more if I can, but you know, just thinking for injury, rest, preparation. You know, the rounds just going to have one more after this 4-rounder, and we're going to be going up with 6s. So maybe he's not. We'll see how he is after this, because I mean, his last sport was on Saturday. He did 8 rounds, and he wasn't even out of breath. So I'm kind of like, I don't want to go too fast, you know, too early. But at the same time, it's like, if he's doing that now, you know, the level of opposition isn't going to be that much different from a 4 to 6 rounder. So it's kind of, maybe he's going for a 6 rounder in the next one and start it, pending the outcome of this fight, because I want to see him get some rounds in. You know, there's some questions. I know what the answers are to the questions, but I know everybody's going to want. There's going to be some questions hanging over. People said, can he do this? Can that happen? What about this? What about that? You know. So, but whatever. 6 rounds is 6 rounds. You're going to do it like that.
That's it.
I mean, whenever I speak to people about you, they always say, that's good, but how's his chin? They always want to ask how your chin is. So how's chin?
It's chiseled. Listen, there's plenty of videos on YouTube, and touch wood, I've never been put down sparring, I've never been stopped, I've never been stopped in a fight. We joke on saying I've got a face-to-face style. I drop my hands, I take shots on the top of the head, the chin, and personally, I think I've got a really good chin. But like I say, it's been tested a lot of times, and as I say, I'm yet to be put down, whether it be with a headshot or a body shot, and so I think that's sort of, it's just a short answer. It's good. There's nothing really more.
End of the day, you're a heavyweight.
Yeah,
so if you say how was his chin, you're a heavyweight, so you get, it's like,
Yeah.
You get hit by a heavyweight and then just say how good your chin is. It's gonna hurt. You got to listen. You go on with experience and learn to ride with the punches and all the rest of it, and get on there, which she's doing a fantastic job at. But you can't just stand there and be teed up on, because I don't care who you are. You're a heavyweight, you're going down. Simple as that. So how good is his chin? It's good for a heavyweight. It's cracking. But can he be knocked down? Is he vulnerable? Yeah, as any heavyweight is.
Definitely.
As any fighter is, roles is human at the end of the day. So,
my husband is an athlete. He's human.
If you've got like a ramrod jab though, it's like you don't seem to you don't just pour the jab, you tend to put something into it.
Yeah. Well, again, when I come to the gym 5 years ago, it was, Mark says, 6'7" kid, and I didn't really, it was something that we worked on from day dot, was the jab, and it's I can only say it's been frustrating but fun at the same time, where we've spent an hour and a half on pads working the jab, whether it be a stiff jab, whether it be a pull, whether it come from the hip, whether it come from the face. We've got all different, as they say, the jab takes you around the world. And for me, I think it is a really, really, really important tool, but it's what comes after the jab. You can't just hide the jab, which I'd done sort of in a lot of amateur fights. I was sort of, I didn't let my right hand go enough, but now we've worked on giving the jab a friend and making sure something comes off the jab. And it's, as I say, it's been something that we've been working on. Being 6'7", you've got to really work what your best tool, and for me my best tool is my jab and left hook, and that's what we've spent hours and hours and hours working on. So
yeah, any approaches from Rob McCracken about getting you for sparring to help Joshua prepare for Pulev, who's also known for a ramrod jab?
I mean, we sparred Piccoli, and Billy Nelson's already down there. I think he starts his camp on Monday with Piccoli, and Billy's already, he was more than happy with the way I held myself with Piccoli. And again, not mentioning any names, Piccoli's been kicked out of camps for stopping sparring partners, cutting them, knocking them out, and these are world class names. And we went up there as more of a trial. Billy said, didn't he? He says, let's see how Stevie does, and they were both very impressed. I held my own, and they've already said that they will try and they will speak to Rob and Anthony about getting us down there after this fight. So
that'd be fantastic, wouldn't
Hopefully
it?
we'll get some rounds sorted down there as well with Anthony and Piccoli. That's it.
Do you know what? It's just all experience. What Billy said straight away. If it wasn't for the Storms last week, they would have been pending for them to be here on the Tuesday or Wednesday, and we were going to go back up there again on the weekend and spar with them. Obviously, with the Storms that hit, that was wrote off. So because it was him, Martin, Piccoli, and Simon. They're all sparring the episode. Just ended up being him and Simon. But you know what? It's good to see levels, the differences at the top level to where you are there. And yeah, you can see Martin's got that experience in there, but again, he's got to be given a chance to actually get there first and foremost. Again, he's only 2 fights in, so to be able to get in there and spar and hang with these guys and learn from them, it's phenomenal. You can't pay for that, and that's why I don't mind travelling as much as we do, just to get the rounds in for him to learn from it, and it's good for him for his confidence, because it does wonders for it as well when you spar in this caliber of opponent, you know, and you're not leaving thinking, bloody hell, I got knocked on my arse, or this happened, you know, I've just been absolutely, face has been rearranged, and you're having a good spar, and Billy's saying, you know, we're happy with that, and Billy's a knowledgeable coach, an experienced coach, and he's had a lot of fights, a lot of champions over the years, hasn't he? So when he's saying, you know, I like what you've got and all the rest of it, and he's wanting us back in their training camps to be a sparring partner, that's a testament to the way he's performing and how he's developing. So
fantastic. Did you guys watch the Gypsy King?
Yeah.
Get the title?
Yeah.
What do you make of that performance?
Unreal. Absolutely unreal, only. Just did exactly what he said. He said, I was going to meet him in the centre ring, I'm going to jump on you, and I think he just overwhelmed him.
I think it was a great tactic, wasn't it?
Obviously it was Deontay Wilder's ring walk suit, wasn't it?
Right.
I don't know if that's actually a true statement or not.
It is true statement. Yeah.
Well, I think personally I think he broke his jaw. It looked like it, didn't it?
Yeah.
His jaw was like up there, and that's probably perforated his eardrum. He was all over the shop.
I think he perforated his eardrum in the second or third round, and then from there I think he's balanced. Then it started bleeding in the seventh. Which
I think he broke his jaw. Looked broken.
Yeah.
His ear, there's like a little cut on the inside of it. They thought that'd both the eardrum, but it was a cut on the inside that was bleeding.
That's balance equilibrium's gone there straight away. Let's just accept it, mate. It's Fury fought a cracking fight, right? You batted him. Don't talk crap about it was your ring walk suit. How mate, you're going to lose credibility with that.
Yeah, just accept the fact you lost.
Accept the fact you lost the first one. You know you lost the first one off him, and you got lucky. You got given a blessing and getting the draw. Hats off to him though, because I mean he's been a champion for a lot of time. While I mean, to be fair, I'm not stating him. I've loved watching him, and I still watch him again. He's a phenomenal fighter. He's just got that raw power, hasn't he? I don't think people are going to stop watching him and everyone going, oh, he's this and he's that, and slating him. There's no need for that. He just got beat off a better fighter on the night. Fury won the first one in my opinion, and he fought a much better fight the second fight. Saw the flaws, worked the game plan, did his job and beat him, and hats off to him. And there's a rematch close for the third fight, isn't there? Well, so if that happens,
contact he's still isn't that.
Yeah, he's activating that.
Yeah.
Well, good. Then he has to go back to the drawing board and do, because I mean, you know, his corner weight wasn't the best. Just look for the right hand, look for the right hand. That's what he kept hearing him saying. Look for the right hand. Well, that's good. Give him some tactics, mate. You know what I mean? If that's all they've worked in there, then you know.
Yeah.
It is what it's like. Fury, hats off to him, mate. He did a phenomenal job, and that's it. He's world champion again. So I'd love to see him and Joshua Showdown. What a fight that would be, wouldn't it? That would be awesome. That get that done, Wembley. Get him on the undercard.
Yeah, well, no, chief support. Yeah. What do you make of the stoppage? There's like Wilder's unhappy with the stoppage. His other trainer saying that he shouldn't have thrown in the towel, and
I think they should have thrown the towel in earlier.
I agree.
I don't see why they even let him go. He was hanging. He was holding. He's like hanging on, and he's like a rabbit in the headlights. He's totally done. He can't breathe right. His jaw's hanging open. They should have been concerned. I would have looked after the 4th, 5th round. And mate, if you don't start throwing something back here and giving us something, I'm going to have to stop this fight.
You've got a duty of care, haven't you? It was the same as when Joshua got the towel thrown in the Louise first fight. At the end of the day, you know, they're not just your coach. They become your best friend. Doesn't matter what age or how long you've been with them. You spend so much time with them. Like they do become like, you know, as I say, you become so close. And at the end of the day, if as much as I can say to Mark, listen, you throw the towel in for me and I'll never speak to you again. If he sees me getting punched all over,
he said that, by the way.
I have told him. He knows he's gonna get stabbed if he does. But it's like, you know, him and Joe have got a duty of care, and if they see me getting punched all over and they hide the towel in, you've just got to accept the fact that they want the best for you. You know, they can see that. They see what you don't see. As a fighter, of course you're going to stay there until, you know, you're physically knocked clean out. That's the only way. Until I'm on the canvas and I'm asleep, that's the only way I'm going to stop. When I see these boxers quitting in the corner and stuff, I just think how. Or when I see these boxers who don't want to spar because, you know, somebody's too good or somebody's too experienced, I just think, oh, like, you're a fighter. But as a corner man, they've got so much more work to do. They're watching every single thing. They're watching the way you breathe. They're watching the way you move. They know how you breathe from the rounds of spar and the rounds of pad. They know how you move. So, you know, they know you as a person more than you know yourself. So when they hide the towel in, there's a reason that they've done it.
Do you know what though? There's a lot of proud coaches, and I mean this in the nicest way I possibly can. But you see a lot of cornermen when they work, and you think, should have potentially pulled it. I know you know your fighter and all the rest of it, and you think, you know, he's got that one shot, he can pull it out, and he's got this and he's got that. But you've got to realistically think of career longevity, damage. That, you know, if you've got a fighter and he's taking an absolute pasting, I'm gonna go listen to that goes again that round. I'm pulling you out, make something as that. We'll live to fight another day, because you've got a duty of care. You've got their health to look after, but you've got to think of their career as well, and what that's going to do to them mentally, what's it going to do with their confidence, how they're going to be from that. And yeah, the fighter might walk away from you as a trainer after and go, you shouldn't have stopped it, and that's more of a pride thing for any fighter to do that. If you've got a phenomenal relationship with your coach and you're winning everything, and then all of a sudden somebody comes on that day and he's got your number and he's beating you up badly, and you know, you're done for it. What happens if you get a brain bleed? What happens if, you know, you detach from retina and your career's ended? You could have saved that by just going, listen, it's called it a day, yeah, son, you've had enough. So for me, it's a sensible thing to do. When you see so many coaches in there, they're too proud, and he's alright, you can take it, You're not the one taking the punches, mate. You know, you're not in there feeling it. You don't know the lasting damage that's going to cause that fighter. So for me, I'm not really that bothered about that. I'm going to do what I think's right for my fighter, and if I ever come to that, if I throw a towel in, I'm not going to be scared to do it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's my decision. I'll stand by it.
No one is going to get an uppercut left.
No one is going to uppercut left.
He's still going.
I'd probably throw it in
Bloody hell. So you got hit like a twice body shot, tails come in, sorry.
Nah, it's, like I said, as a coach, they know you more than you know yourself, and you know, you don't realise how close you become to your coach. I mean, we've started a relationship over the last 4 years. We're that close.
Aye.
Probably see him more like I see him misses and kids, man, honestly. It's funny because when you come into training, you see the relationship, you understand, you can see, like there's days when he comes in and I'll just say he's flat a bit, you're right, and he'll say yes, I'm like, you're not. I'm like, listen, gloves off, just go home, rest, and we'll train again either tomorrow or later. And he'll just be because he's worked hard, he hasn't ate right, has a hard night's sleep or whatever it may be. And I suppose it's my job to see these little things in him and notice these little changes in body language, personality, you know, his persona, whatever it may be. And then it's for me to go, you need to rest, mate. Like, I've got to tell him, he's like, I want to do this. Like, no, man, you've got to rest. It's so important that you have your recovery, and we do this and we do that, and go and, you know, eat this and eat that, and look after everything. Because otherwise, you just train. I'm like, you can't. You've got to think your rest and recovery and body repair, and otherwise we're going to get an injury on it. And I think that's, you know, rest and recovery and having an understanding of your fighter's body is also a key element to any training camp that you're going to have with anyone.
Yeah, I agree. Because you spent time in like the wildcard gym, you did, and a lot of people are comparing Tyson Fury's performance to say like Vladimir Klitschko, Lennox Lewis, like the Kronk style. Did you notice any of that?
Yeah, well, that Sugar Hill, when they were over the Contender all the years ago, they came up and they were playing McCrory's old gym, which I was at the time, and I had just gone pro then, and that Sugar Hill was here, and I mean, they were there for a couple of weeks, and we had a right good laugh because every session we were in, we were training, and there was me and John and we were all sparring with them. It was a right laugh, to be fair, but their sort of style, they love sitting down and turning their shots over and getting lots of power, and they love kind of just going for that knockout. That aggression, and you did see a lot of that in Fury, didn't you? It was always there though, wasn't it? You know, they've just probably pulled it out of him a little bit more and got that bit of aggression out of him.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I see it's always been there with Fury, hasn't he? He's a big number before, 6'9", isn't he?
6'9" and 280 pounds.
He's not going to tickle you. He's not going to tickle you when he hits you.
That's it. So even if you don't know how to box, if somebody hits you at 280 pounds, it's going to hurt.
Slap you'll hurt you.
Of course. 19 stone going into here. Brings off a cash guy.
So he's someone that you'd love to share a few rounds with at some point.
Definitely.
I mean, sparring and that.
I mean, it was meant to happen when I was down sparring Nathan for the Dubois fight, and we're down there a few times, and Ricky had said he'll try and get him in, but I think he was over in Marbella at the time, and we just never we never crossed paths. But again, there's nobody I wouldn't spar, because it doesn't matter how good they are or how reputable they are, it's only going to bring my game to another level. I'm never gonna, you know, I'm never gonna not gain anything from those kind of spars. So for me, I'm happy to spar anyone. And again, you know, we're willing to travel if the rounds are right and the time's right, the opponent's right. Then, as I say, definitely, it's something I would love.
So a message for everyone then, who's not going to the arena. Watch it on IFL TV, ESPN, wherever it is.
Yeah, it's on IFL TV, isn't it?
YouTube,
YouTube, so yeah.
TV, yeah.
Just put an IFL TV.
Starts at 6 o'clock, I think. 6 o'clock.
6:30 first fight's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't got a clue what the running order is yet.
No,
We
okay.
don't know until the evening. Well,
Okay,
they'll know what it is. We haven't been told yet. But just make sure you don't miss big USSR Robinson.
I must break you.
Stop Phil Williams.
Excellent. Well, best of luck.
See if we can start selling this some merchandise. We're going to t-shirts made. I will break you.
When I start selling
We'll get sued for copyright.
Yeah.
I must break you.
Yeah, why not?
If she dies, she dies.
Why not? Alright guys, thanks very much for your time. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you very much.
And we'll pop back after your fight, and hopefully, Eddie, get him on the Matchroom show.
Definitely. Anyone watching, get us on any of your shows.
Yeah, get him on the match one, get him on the War Joyce one, get him on
I'm ready. I'll be active. You know, 4 rounds, 6 rounds. Just ring Mark Clauzel.
Don't put me on the road again though.
Not involve myself.
Excellent. Thanks a lot, guys.
Cheers, mate.